Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Yes, I see a question right off the rip. Is Timothy Ferriter's sentencing tomorrow? Yes, it is. And it will be televised. And we have an event up and we will be streaming it. How come you guys are getting booted out of chats? I feel like I heard somewhere, or I don't know if somebody said it in chat, but I feel like I heard somewhere that YouTube is doing updates and it's wonky until it's finished. I don't know. But I do know, here's some news. I do know that YouTube is now going to be requiring, now listen to this. This is going to get interesting because it involves AI. YouTube is going to be requiring creators to label their videos that are not authentic. How do you think that's going to go over? So they're expecting, I guess, the creator to say, this isn't real and label it. So I don't know if they're going to have bots that are like double checking this stuff like they do with everything else that they ding us with. But apparently the AI is taking over the tubes. So maybe that's what they're working on, some kind of an update, or I don't know. It's just weird. But it's weird how they're going to handle AI videos. Because I've been thinking about that. Like YouTube has always been, you know, before we all came over here for true crime, it was definitely a creator site. It was a ridge. People were able to, you know, explore their own talents on YouTube and make money eventually, right? Well, now it's become this big business because every news station, and then we have big state like corporations with channels and all this stuff. John gone. They need to use that mofo is not real. He's not real. Flo. Hey, Flo, you're here now. I got my monitor. One-Eyed Flo bought me my second monitor. I'm going to get it set up after this live stream today. So today I'm going to set up my monitor. Thank you so much, Flo. I'm going to have dual screens. How awesome is that? And then I'm going to do the Caitlin Armstrong Day 8 update today as well. So we're going to get into these two stories. These are two new stories. And the one in Vegas is, I have the video of the fight. So you guys, if you don't want to see it, I'll warn you before I play it. But it's very disturbing. But the first story, and we're going to get right into it. I want to get to this one because this hasn't gotten any coverage. I haven't seen anybody covering this woman. This mother of 4 is missing. I know, isn't Flo awesome? Oh, and I have something else to share first before we get into the missing mom. Major announcement. Okay, so the major announcement is this week, we're going to be rolling out ugly Christmas sweater, J is for Justice style. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to be rolling out these ugly Christmas sweaters for sale. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give some away. So what I'm going to do for the top donators of November, which is PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, the top donator from those donations will get a free ugly Christmas sweater. The top super chatters of November will get a free ugly Christmas sweater. And the top member gifters member gifters will get a free ugly Christmas sweater. So starting this week, I'm going to have a ticker that's going to keep track of who's ahead. So you guys will be able to get your digs in one by just doing what you normally do, is supporting me and my channel. And this is my thank you to you. So that will end in November, at the end of November, and then those will be sent out. But I'll show you what they look like this week. They are being designed as we speak, and they're going to be cool. They're going to be really cool. So the top Christmas member SIP gifter will get a free, J is for Justice, ugly Christmas sweater. And they will be very affordable. I'm going to do, just so you know, they're going to be long sleeve shirts like this, like long sleeve t-shirts. And I'm going to be able to keep them very reasonable. They're not going to be $50 or anything crazy like that. I want people to be able to, you know, buy the merch and enjoy it and not break their bank, because you've got enough gifts to buy. We've all got kids. We've all got families. We've got friends. And also in our Discord, we are doing Secret Santa. So we're going to do a gift exchange for the members of the channel. So we're going to have a lot of fun this Christmas. If you're not a member and you want to join, the moderators will let you know how. And also, there's a little barcode up there, a little QR code. You can scan that if you have an iPhone, and you can join. So that announcement out of the way, let's get into our first story. Oh, Punani, you hush. Okay, so this is Shakira Rucker. Her estranged husband is a person of interest. He is jailed on the suspicion of a murder. Let's read through this. This is in Winter Springs, Florida, which is near Orlando. The estranged husband of a missing Winter Springs woman has been officially declared a person of interest in her disappearance. Shakira Rucker, 37, has been missing since Saturday night, November 11th, when she was last seen leaving her Winter Springs home around 7:30 p.m. Now, look at him. He's 51. Her family believes that she left with her estranged husband, Corey Hill, 51, though it's not known where they went. And this was on Saturday. On Tuesday afternoon, Winter Springs Police Captain Doug Seeley told Fox 35 that Hill, who was arrested on Monday, so he was just arrested 2 days ago, on several attempted murder charges in an unrelated case out of Orange County. He was seen on surveillance video with Rucker at a restaurant in Polk County in Grady Judd land. And since they found that surveillance, he's now considered a person of interest in her disappearance. So Seeley said that's what made him a person of interest in the case now, because we see that they were together that night. We're trying to work as diligently, as quickly as possible, putting all this together. We understand time is of the essence. He said detectives attempted to talk to Hill about Rucker's disappearance at the Orange County Jail, but the piece of shit refused to talk to them, leading them to name him as a person of interest. He has not been named a suspect and has not been arrested or charged with anything in Rucker's disappearance. However, he is facing 4 charges of attempted murder in connection to a shooting in Orange County on Sunday, November 12th, the same day that she was reported missing. So here's what we know about her disappearance. Family members told police that Shakira Rucker, a mother of 4, she's got 4 children, was seen leaving her Winter Springs home around 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, November 11th. She has not been found. Her mom, Elaine, said that Shakira sent a text message to her daughter that she was on her way home and had food for them. However, hours went by and Shakira had not made it home yet. Rucker's daughter then called her grandmother, who then called Hill. He reportedly told them that he had already dropped Shakira off and didn't know where she was. We need a location, a pin drop, something, said Rucker's youngest brother, Clarence Thornton, because right now we don't know anything. According to Thornton, investigators told him Rucker's phone last pinged near a restaurant close to his home. The place she went to, I told her about that place. She loves that place, Thornton said. Her daughter got a text at 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning saying, I'm on my way, and she never came. It could have been from him. It could have been from her. We will never know. Thornton is hopeful that Hill will start cooperating with law enforcement. According to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, this is what happened on Sunday. According to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, detectives responded to a report of a shooting on Holly Creek Road. A woman told detectives that Hill approached her and her family with a gun and started shooting. No one was injured, and Hill allegedly ran away before detectives arrived. He was located in Mount Dora and arrested there by police. He was booked into jail on 2 counts of attempted first degree and 2 counts of attempted second degree murder. Angel Milligan said on Monday night, quote, he was trying to kill me. According to Milligan, she and Hill used to date and they lived together. So what was he like, going around targeting his exes? Weird. According to Milligan, she and Hill used to date and they lived together. Milligan said she broke things off in September after speaking with Rucker. So she broke things off 2 months ago. Quote, she's like, hey, do you know he's married? I'm like, no. All I know so far is he's telling me he's out of town at work, Milligan recalled. Milligan said she also filed an injunction against Hill, so she was surprised to see him at her house on November 12th. Her surprise turned to terror when he pulled out a gun. He said, don't run now. That was the first words out of his mouth. Don't run now. And at that point, I went to turn my back to run in the house, and all you hear is gunshots. It felt like I felt the wind of 2 of them pass my face as I'm running. Photos of the scene shared with Fox 35 show bullet holes in the walls and a smashed window. Let's look at these photos. Holy hell. Oh, this guy's a monster. Look at this. Thank God he's locked up. I can't believe no one's talking about this. Why? That's all I really want to know, said Milligan. Why? News that Rucker was with Hill less than 24 hours before bullets started flying through the front door left Milligan with an uneasy feeling. She said she hopes Rucker is found safe but fears the worst. This is awful. This poor girl and her kids. Unbelievable, man.
And now, Shakira Rucker's family is taking matters into their own hands.
Yeah, this video shows them searching the woods in Winter Springs right near her home.
Oh, man.
Fox 35's
They're
Hannah
searching
McKenzie
the
is
woods.
joining us live tonight. So, Hannah, you spoke with her brother just a short time ago. What did he tell you?
Well, John, Luann, obviously Shakira Rucker's family is desperate for answers tonight. It's been 3 days since she was last seen, and we're told the man she was allegedly with is not cooperating with investigators. 72 hours since
Grady
Shakira
Judd on his
Rucker
ass.
was last seen. Her family anxiously awaiting answers.
We need a location, a pin drop, something, because right now we don't know anything.
Clarence Thornton telling us investigators say his sister's phone last pinged at a restaurant 10 minutes from his Davenport home.
The place she went to, I know I told her about that place and she loves that place.
Winter Springs Police Captain Doug Seeley says surveillance surveillance video shows Rucker and estranged husband Cody Hill together at a Polk County restaurant Saturday night.
That's what's made him a person of interest in the case now, because we see that they're together that night.
Is that believed to be one of the last times that she was seen?
That is what we have as of right now. Again, all investigative resources are being utilized at that point in time, so we still have some more work to do.
Are your name, sir?
Hill.
Hill already in custody,
there he
facing
is.
4 charges of attempted murder. These photos showing the aftermath of his alleged shooting spree in Orange County on Sunday, the same day Rucker was reported missing.
The daughter got a text at 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning saying, I'm on my way. She never came. Could have been from him, could have been from her. We will never know.
The mother of 4 hasn't been heard from since. Hill, the named person of interest in her disappearance, refusing to speak with investigators.
Tell us something, you know? Like, if you really loved and cared about her, tell us something. Don't let it end like this. And it won't end like this. We're going to make sure it doesn't end like this.
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. They're looking in the woods near her home. So it seems to me that they could probably get more surveillance from the neighborhood, and maybe they did. And they saw that he, was near those woods or something. Reed Duran out of Xenia, Ohio, and Michael Ormond out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin are missing. Thank you, Amy. I couldn't believe I saw this. It was in Florida. And a mother of 4 is missing, and no one's talking about it. And I know why they're not talking about it. And it pisses me off why they're not talking about it. And this happens all the time. When Black people go missing, no one wants to talk about it. Why? It seriously pisses me off. Because when Shanann Watts went missing, everybody was up in arms. All us white people were up in arms. Where's Shanann Watts? Why is no one worked up over this? Pisses me off, man. And we've got this horrible person that did this. And no one's talking about it. Is it because he's not cute like Chris Watts? I don't get it. But I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Black people not getting the coverage when they go missing in the same type of way that a white person does. It's fucking horrible. So there. My thoughts go out to her family. And God forbid, I hope she's found okay, but it doesn't sound like she's gonna be. It just doesn't sound like she's going to be okay. I mean, and then you got to think too, like, she's got 4 children. It's Thanksgiving next week. Hey, Ronder. I like your name, Ronder. So, yeah, I mean, it's incredibly sad. So, again, this is Shakira Rucker. And she was last seen with her estranged 51-year-old husband, who went after he saw her and went and shot up his other ex's house. Where are the babies? Do we know? I don't know. I don't know how old her children are. Let's see if we can find out some more information on this. Let's go a little deeper here. Let's Google her name and maybe we can find out a little more about her. I want to know how old the children are. Because her daughter got a text, so I don't know if she's old. She's 37. Let's see what this is. Missing woman last seen with attempted murder suspect, and Pink brings banned books to Florida tour. Oh, how nice. How nice that this publication merges her story with fucking Pink. Dude, what is wrong with this world? Why does she get a cut with Pink? Oh, it makes me so mad. I'm not even going to read that story because it pisses me off. They can't focus on just her. They got to throw fucking Pink in it. Whew. Man, I can't imagine being the family members of these people in these crimes. I seriously can't imagine it. The media is so insensitive, and they wonder why people come to YouTube to talk to people. They wonder why YouTubers are getting interviews. They wonder. They fucking wonder. I'll tell you why people come to YouTube. Because we're not assholes to them. Most of us aren't. Most of us treat them with respect and make them important. Flo just donated 5 memberships. Is that a joint or a cigar, Flo? Thank you so much, Flo. We've got Ms. was gifted. Women Are Sacred. Lisa Luptak. Ronder. Welcome, Ronder. And September Pours. Welcome, guys. Is that a joint or a cigar? All right, here's her mom. I found a video of her mom. Let's watch this.
So is that a joint?
How do I make it big?
Or
Shit.
is it a cigar?
Maybe it's this video. Let's watch this. Oh, I just get worked up, dude. I'm sorry, guys. It bothers me a lot.
So is that a joint?
Because it's not fair.
Missing tonight, and her estranged husband is now considered a person of interest in her disappearance.
That person of interest already in jail, accused in a shooting that occurred after Shakira was last seen with him. West 2's Dave McDaniel live in Winter Springs now at the police department with the latest on the investigation and a family seeking answers. Dave.
Well, Shakira Rucker, she was a daughter, she's a mother, she's a sister, and right now, nobody knows where she is.
It's hard not knowing nothing,
Her mom.
not knowing where to start. It's hard.
The family of 37-year-old Shakira Rucker gathered in an open area near where her estranged husband, 51-year-old Corey Hill, was arrested Sunday. Arrested
looks
for
like a
something
charm.
unrelated to her disappearance. Deputies were canvassing that neighborhood a day after Hill faced a judge.
Charge of attempted first-degree murder.
Don't run now, about to die, I'm gonna kill you.
Angel Milligan says Hill
That's the
violently
ex.
came after her just after 10 in the morning Sunday.
And I just heard gun, fires, flying, and I felt 2 of them like glance past my face. And, I just went running in fear for my life.
Her home showing the scars of flying bullets. She had dated Hill for a time, breaking it off when she learned he was already married to Shakira Rucker.
I'm here to support their family. He was supposed to be a trusted man of God. This is all a shock.
Her sister Shakira hasn't been seen since she went for food Saturday, last seen with Corey Hill, her estranged husband. Police now saying there appears to be video from an undisclosed location in Polk County showing the 2 of them together. But the family is left wondering, what now?
Even though we can't find her right now, there's still a possibility. So we are still staying strong and having faith and hoping that she's
sister.
alive and we just find her. She's just waiting.
Winter Springs investigators saying Hill refuses to talk about Shakira Rucker.
This is not right. We should be planning for Thanksgiving. This is not right.
The family looking for help from law enforcement, the community, working to draw strength as they search for answers, and their loved one.
She have 4 kids. Four kids and they need her.
A family certainly holding out hope. And then late this afternoon, the Winter Springs Police Department really telling us that right now, Corey Hill is a person of interest now in her disappearance. And right now, he's not talking. Reporting live in Winter Springs, Dave McDaniel, West 2 News.
Y'all, I can barely speak. Like, I'm going to cry. It's Thanksgiving. Ow. I think I've been watching too many interviews of the Idaho 4 because I'm really up in my feels. Ugh. Sorry. It's sad. Oh, I don't typically cry, but man, I watched like hours of the Goncalves. Why did I say the Goncalves? The Gonsalves. And I watched the Chapins. And then I watched Oxford shit from the Oxford shooting and saw parents that lost their kids. And it's hard. Sorry, I didn't plan on crying, but it was really hard. And I just feel like it's just so sad. And then to see like nobody talking about it. It's like, why? Why are you not talking about her? Thanks, guys. I mean, this stuff is real. And, you know, you can't go freaking live and like always put your fake on because this stuff is sad. And with the holidays coming up, you know, it's awful. I'm sorry. I know. It's just a lot with the holidays and stuff. And then that 1 year thing, just seeing their pain is hard. It's really hard to see because you want to help and you can't. So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make everybody cry. Let's snap out of it. Let's snap out of it. Right. Thank you, Kendi. I love you guys too. And sometimes you just gotta cry, you know? Sometimes it's just. Plus, you have your own stuff, you know, inside, and then you have all this, and it just. My heart breaks for the victims' families. Ah, I know. Let's all take a breather. Let's take a moment. Okay. Oh, the 1 year thing was hard. I didn't think it would be that hard. I didn't think that it would affect me. And like, who am I? I'm just someone who's covered this case. And who am I? Nobody. Aw, you guys are so nice. You really are. And, you know, I don't know. It is. Can I interview one of her family members? I would absolutely love to. But, you know, it's just like, I just feel like I want to help. And sometimes you just can't help. Oh, Angie B is sending me virtual hugs and sloppy smooches. And I'm not a teary person, but sometimes I think that's when I just like it builds up and then I'm like, this is messed up. But when I saw this girl's story today, it really hit me. It really did. It really did. And to think that this piece of shit is sitting in jail saying, oh, I ain't talking. Mm-mm. And I wonder why she left with him. I wonder if he tricked her. Do you guys think he tricked her? Do you think that he lied to her and said, hey, we're going to go out to eat? But what I don't understand is it says she left at 7:30 p.m. and then she texted her daughter in the morning. Did I read that right? It's all Jammer's fault. We can blame Jammers. She was seen leaving her home. What is Spike Vax? No, thank you. Did you see that? It just went away too. She's beautiful. Punani, we cover true crime here. We aren't heartless. It's real and raw, and it hits different. Crying and empathizing with my J for J fam. I love you guys so much. We love you too, Punani Queen. You're our girl. Thank you, Punani. And thank you, Angie, for your super chat. One-eyed Flo. Oh, shit. Speaking of Flo. Yeah, that Vax thing was creepy. Was it not? Yeah, she left at 7:30 in the evening. And then she texted her daughter. Let's see. In the morning. But they don't know if it was actually her, remember? At 6 in the morning. So they're not sure if it was her. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that it's all over. Christine plans. I live in Orlando, and this story is all over my Facebook, Nextdoor, and news. Hashtag replay, getting caught up on 2 times speed. Christine, I'm so glad to hear that. Oh, Potato. I think he did send that text. Uh-huh. Just like Watts. Watts was texting Shanann like nothing was wrong. Oh, I know, Island. Rachel. Can't remember her last name offhand, but the one that the suspect was in California or something weird. Yeah. Her kids too. All these people in the holidays. Think about the Gonsalves. Think about Ben Mogan. Holidays. Sucks. It fucking sucks. Meg P. Hey, you just missed my menopause crying session. Mandy. Hello, Mandy. All right. Our next story we're going to get into is in Vegas. And I'll keep you updated on Shakira Rucker. We will, follow it. Let's go over to our boob tube for this because I'm going to play a video for you guys. So let's head on. Rachel Moran. Yes, thank you. Head on over to the boob tube. My crying looking ass. So welcome to the boob tube. We are going to go through this story and then we're going to watch this video. This is a rough one. Around 15 youths brutally beat 17-year-old Jonathan Lewis near Rancho High School on November 1 when he tried to stand up for another friend. This was over headphones. Wait for it. This is over headphones. And guess what else? A vape. A vape. He might have taken her at gunpoint, Christine, now that you say that. He could have taken her at gunpoint. But they were seen at a restaurant. But then he went over, that one girl dumped him in September, and he went over there and shot up her door, her house. Crazy. Now this is awful. A teenage boy succumbed to his injuries days after being beaten by a group of bullies near a high school in Las Vegas. Around 15 youths brutally beat 17-year-old Jonathan Lewis. Jonathan's father, also named Jonathan Lewis, wrote on a GoFundMe set up for him, and I will share that we'll take a look at it. We have been given a statement from our son's girlfriend that what occurred was that one of his smaller friends had something stolen by this group of 15, and they threw the small boy in the trash can. And our son confronted them and was attacked by them. After the incident, the video showing the moment the fight broke out surfaced, and in conversation with 8 News Now, Lewis said his son kept to himself. The young boy was living with his mother in Las Vegas when he died and was planning to move to Austin, Texas. Violence just begets more violence, and these children don't even know what they're doing half the time. Ain't that the truth? I think there's just a failure of all humanity to recognize that we need to be teaching our youth how to coexist. No shit. What is wrong with these kids? They have no They have no regard for human life anymore. No regard for human life anymore. It's sick. So the Daily Mail also has the video and more information. This is his dad. This is the guy's dad right here. Of course, he's on News Nation. But this is Jonathan Lewis, Sr. There's the video. This is Jonathan Lewis holding his son's hand in the hospital. Do you see this? Because he stood up for his friend, and now that friend has to live with that. See this? And they're still trying to identify kids in this video. They're still trying to identify the kids that did this. Shocking footage of the attack shared to social media saw around 15 bullies attack a student, purported to be Jonathan Lewis, 17. They paced cuz out. The fuck does that mean? Look at this shit. 15 of them? Did this one shit his pants? What's on his ass? What's on that kid's ass? Shit? But like, what is wrong with these kids? 15 of them? They throw a kid in the dumpster? I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. But apparently they set up this fight away from the school grounds because they knew they'd get in trouble at school. So they did this off school grounds. Good for her, Amy M. Kids need to speak up. But they're still trying to find some others in this video. So they're asking, the police are like, the video's out there and we're trying to identify everyone in it. This is Jonathan Lewis. He died on November 7th in the hospital. He lived for 6 days. His dad held his hand for 6 days until he was gone. Senseless and stupid. So, brace yourselves. This is the video. It's a minute long. I haven't seen it yet. I'm watching it for the first time with you guys. Just see it. What the fuck? No one stopped it? They just drive through? They left him laying there, guys. Shit makes me mad because you know what? What are these little assholes going to be when they're older? What are these assholes going to be when they're older? These are going to be adults someday. These are going to be adults someday. And someone just drives through? Beep, beep. Get out of my way. Honk, honk.
Oh, my God. God severely beaten by more than a dozen students, has died in the hospital after several days on life support. It's a story you'll only see on 8. That child's dad breaks his silence, condemning that violence.
Okay, here's his dad. Dude, where's the audio on this? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Getting all worked up here. Why doesn't it have any sound? Oh, it's fucking News Nation anyway. I can't play that shit. I just can't even. Let's read through this and see, because this has a lot more information. Okay, so here we go. Eight teenagers, we're going to watch the presser too, have been charged with murder after the fatal beating of a fellow student who agreed to fight the group in a row over stolen wireless headphones. There's 10 believed to be involved, and they were all students of Rancho High School. So the sheriff described the viral video showing the beating as void of humanity. Lewis's father said he can't watch the clip. Who could blame him? Johansson said that a citizen found Lewis unresponsive after the beating, which happened in an alleyway near the school. They fucking left him there. They left him there. He was unresponsive and they brought him back to the school. What does that even mean? How did they bring him back to the school? As soon as a punch is thrown, 10 suspects immediately swarm him. He added that the department was able to identify approximately 10 subjects involved in the murder, and 8 of those have been positively identified. Johansson said the process is underway for the 8 to be charged as adults. There's a likelihood that there is additional video out there that we don't have. Lewis's father, who lives in Austin, said his son was targeted after rushing for help. Another student being picked on by bullies. He said Jonathan was initially attacked by a few students who the 17-year-old shook off because he was so strong, but then all the other kids joined in and beat him to death after that. After Jonathan is knocked to the ground, one of his friends attempts to intervene and stop the brutal attack before making a run for it. Lewis Sr. set up a GoFundMe to help cover the cost of his son's untimely death. He said the proceeds, which has topped $65,000, will be split between Jonathan's mother and father's families. According to the fundraiser, his decision to leap into action was because the other bullied student he helped was far smaller and had items stolen from him by the group. The page described him as a kind, loving, gentle man who has the heart of a champion and the brightest, loving energy that attracts people to him with love. The family writing before his death said he's an aspiring artist, devoted big brother, and a fierce protector of loved ones. We are so grateful for all of the love and community support that is poured in for our son, and hope that the world will focus on all the love and compassion as a beacon of hope for human relations and place recognition upon how much stronger the love and the spirit of community is than the dark moments of violence. Love wins. Our son is a champion of love and family and the resilient spirit of human perseverance and will to be good and kind and loving. Nuts. Now we're going to watch the presser on this from the cops. This is the GoFundMe. And I'll put this in the chat if you guys are interested. He's got 104K now. That's awesome. So he had 65K at the time of the article. Now he's got 104K. And it looks like there's his son and possibly a little sibling. Right? If his friend didn't run. Mandy Jo. So now we can't even tell our kids to stand up to bullies and protect those being picked on. Right. Like, what the heck? And where's your picture, Mandy? Why isn't it showing up on my thingy? I can't see your beautiful face here. What's going on? Christine's works. Stacy's works. But Mandy Jo's doesn't. How come? Oh, you guys can't even see the pinned comment right now. Never mind. Ah! Okay, so this is the GoFundMe. Now let's go over to YouTube and we will Why do I have ads right now? Did my premium expire? It might have. Shit, man.
Metropolitan Police Department. And I want to thank you all for being here today, and we're going to provide you and the community with an update on the senseless beating investigation and now a murder investigation where the victim was 17-year-old Jonathan Lewis, and this occurred on November 1st, 2023. And I want to take this moment to just also recognize the work that the members of our homicide section have done once again to bring closure to a senseless crime that occurred in our community. I'm here today to announce that we have 8 suspects in custody for the murder of Jonathan Lewis, and those 8 suspects will be charged with the crime of murder. Our work in this investigation is far from over, and we need all of your help as we continue with this investigation. And the reason I say that is many of you and many people in the community have seen the violent video that has circulated throughout our community via social media. And if you or your child or somebody you know has seen that video and recognizes anybody that may have been a participant in this senseless crime, you need to get a hold of us and our homicide section, like I said earlier, as we further our investigation. And on a personal note, I want to say, just as a parent and as a member of this community, is the video that's out there and the videos that we have mentioned throughout this investigation and that you've seen reported in the media, they're extremely disturbing. And this should be a reminder to all of us to have those difficult conversations with our children and remind them that their actions have consequences. Their actions have lasting consequences. Their actions have life-altering consequences. So to provide you with the further details of this investigation and the arrests that were made today is Lieutenant Jason Johansson from our homicide section.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jason Johansson, the homicide lieutenant.
Where are you, Jason? I don't see you.
Metropolitan Police Department.
Oh, there you are.
My goal here today is to provide you a brief overview of the initial investigation when we responded up until the point of the arrest of the 8 subjects today during our operation. Let me start off with our response. On November 1st of 2023, the Clark County School District Police Department, they responded to a report of a battery as a result of a fight. Initially, it came out at Rancho High School. Very quickly, in the initial preliminary investigation, it was determined that the actual fight occurred in the alleyway at 1308 21st Street, which, as you can see on the map to my left, is directly east of Rancho High School in close proximity. And it was learned that this fight occurred right after school had let out at Rancho High School, and it is believed that all members that were involved in this incident, whether it be as witnesses, suspects, and victims, were attendees of Rancho High School. We also learned that how the victim ended up back at Rancho was that after the fight occurred, he was laying unconscious and unresponsive in the back alley, and a citizen nearby saw him, began attending to him, and carried him back to Rancho High School, which is what prompted.
Guys, people treat dogs better. Can you imagine your child, your 17-year-old child, being beaten and left for dead in an alley? These kids just went about their day? What? Someone needs to examine the heads of these children and then look at their parents, because there is something wrong here.
the initial 911 phone calls related to this incident. Following medical's response, he was transported to UMC, where very early on in the investigation it was determined that Mr. Lewis had sustained non-survivable head trauma, and that was when the homicide section responded, and we took over this investigation due to the extent of his injuries. As you know, the video that has been shared widely on social media, which I am not going to show today, but many people have seen it, is very graphic, and in my opinion is very void of humanity. What you see in the video, though, is approximately 10 subjects kicking, stomping, and punching our victim, Jonathan, as he's on the ground, not defending himself, and to the point where he becomes unconscious. During our investigation, we quickly learned that the fight was actually over a pair of stolen wireless headphones and possibly over a stolen marijuana vape pen from incidents that occurred earlier in the week. And that as a result of those stolen items, which were taken from the victim or the victim's friends, they had agreed to fight with several of the subjects in the back alley where the fight occurred.
No living being should ever eat processed food for every single meal of their life.
Ads.
After school let out, all parties then walked to that back alley where, as you see in the video, our victim removes his clothing, engages in a fight initially with one subject, and the minute the punch is thrown with that person, 10 subjects immediately swarm him, put him into the ground, and begin kicking, punching, and stomping on him.
See, Mandy, I can't see your photo on this.
Over the course of this investigation and in close coordination with Clark County School District Police Department and Rancho High School administrators, we were able to quickly identify many of the subjects involved in the fight from the video that was taken and shared off of social media. As a result, we have identified approximately 10 subjects that were involved in the murder. 8 of those subjects we have been able to positively identify. On November 7th, our team was advised by family members that our victim had sustained, was currently medically brain dead, at which point in time they had made a decision to donate his organs.
Oh.
And yesterday, the victim was, an autopsy was performed by the Clark County Coroner's Office on the victim, where his cause of death was blunt force trauma homicide.
He saved lives.
As I mentioned earlier, as a result of our investigation, we were able to identify 8 of those 10 subjects. And based on that investigation, we conducted an apprehension operation this morning with the FBI Criminal Apprehension Team and members of our Major Violence and Narcotics Bureau. During that operation, we were able to arrest all 8 subjects, and we executed 9 search warrants at various residences throughout the Las Vegas Valley. During those search warrants, detectives were able to obtain numerous clothing from the residences that the suspects wore during the attack on Mr. Lewis.
They went
All
home and
subjects
changed.
that were arrested in this incident range from the age of 13 to 17. All are juveniles, and all were booked into the Clark County Juvenile Hall on charges of murder. The case will now be turned over to the Clark County District Attorney's Office, who we've been in close coordination with, and we'll go through the normal steps of determining, going through the normal steps for them to be certified as an adult.
Hi, Diana.
As the undersheriff mentioned in this investigation, it is far from over. We've identified 8 of the 10 we believe are responsible for the murder, but through our PIO office, we will be pushing out additional pictures of 2 individuals that we have yet to identify that participated in the incident, and with the requesting assistance from the community with identifying them. I also want to secondly ask anybody in the community that if you know anybody who witnessed this, if you see video of this from social media, please don't just believe we have it. There's a high likelihood that there's additional video out there that we don't have.
A high
I encourage
likelihood.
anyone, if you have that video, to please contact the LVPD homicide section, or if you wish to remain anonymous, that video can be shared through Clark County, through Crime Stoppers in Nevada. That information is very necessary in investigations like this and has helped us greatly in this investigation. In closing, I just want to thank my team for all the investigative efforts that they did on this
Christine.
case. Our homicide section does amazing work, and they are able to get it done very rapidly. Additionally, in closing, I just want to second the undersheriff's remarks. If you're a mentor with youth, if you're a parent, you have to assume that your kids have seen this video. It has been shared widely on social media. Don't put your head in the sand. Please talk to your kids about it and explain. People need to know right from wrong, and that this act was heinous. And as I mentioned earlier, hopefully kids can learn from us so we don't have another incident such as this. With that, I'll take any additional questions you may have.
I have a question. Can you please explain to our audience, this
Can't hear the questions, of course.
At Vistaprint, we can get your brand into your customers' hands, or their heads, or their backs, or hands.
Sorry. I'm going to have to renew my premium.
Some people assume that the arrest is going to happen right away. It was all caught on video. Why weren't they just arrested? Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, and gladly, and great question. I'm glad you asked it. So when we're talking about an investigation like this, I've mentioned before, one of the biggest aspects of us doing the investigation is this is a highly emotional video. Anybody that watches that has parents, it is emotional for all involved. But remember, for us to go arrest somebody for the charge of murder, we have to be right. We have to make sure that we have positively identified who those people are. It's one thing for someone to say, I believe that is such and such. We have to actually physically be able to put that person there. If you watch that video, many of them have hoods over their faces. Many of them have their faces obscured during the attack. Our job is to go in there and be able to prove in court beyond a reasonable doubt that each one of these people are the people depicted in the video, not someone that looks like them, that it is actually them, which is actually the second part of our investigation, the closing part of our investigation today with the search warrants, getting the clothing that people were wearing during the attack. We've also recovered numerous cell phones. All these items go into that investigation. And that is all the things that the investigators of crimes like this, or any crime for that matter, have to do to be able to get a case in court and prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
You said that this was a highly emotional video. This video is taken on national attention, and one of the questions that folks nationally have been asking.
Can't hear any of the questions.
Is this the case? If not, what factors lead to that determination?
To me, you have to follow the evidence. And the only thing I'll say to that is there is no evidence at this time that this is a hate crime. And one thing I can assure you is if this was a hate crime, there would be someone getting arrested for charges related to it being hate crime. Right now, I have no evidence at all that this is a hate crime. It is a murder, which in my opinion is a very heinous crime in and of itself, but I do not have evidence of a hate crime.
Can you go over again what exactly led to this fight? So it was stealing wireless headphones as well as a marijuana vape pen. Were these items stolen from Lewis's friend?
She's asking about the stolen items.
Everyone at this point?
What we were initially told, and what we believe still to this point, is that the initial fight was going to be between his friend, which if you watch the video, he's wearing like tan pants. That at some point in time, Lewis went into the back alley with him, and that then the fight occurred between Lewis and the subjects that were believed to have stolen the wireless headphones. During the course of investigation, we started learning additional details that there might be also a connection to some stolen like marijuana vape pen or some type of marijuana device used to inhale marijuana.
Stupid.
And then out of curiosity, going into that neighborhood, neighbors have mentioned that alleyway is very prone to student fights happening.
Fights happen all the time in the alleyway, she said she heard.
To try and mitigate that area with students congregating and potentially fighting?
I can let Clark County School District PD go over what their response is to that back alley. What I can tell you is that in speaking with our downtown area command commander, they have had an increased presence down there in that alley. But I'm personally not aware of prior police responses to that back alley. But Clark County School District PD, if you have one to answer the rest of that.
Hello, Mike Blackeye, Chief of the Clark County School District Police Department. That area is, yes, there has been fights there, but there's also been fights all around that school, in parks, in other neighborhoods, things like that. But that's typical of most of our schools, especially our 30 high schools, where certain students don't choose to fight on campus because of the repercussions. So they'll choose to take their issues off campus, and this is a typical example of that. that particular area and all areas are patrolled by our patrol force, and that high school and all of our 30 high schools have 2 campus officers that patrol those schools, or their assigned school each day. And there were 2 school police officers on duty that day.
Where were they when that fight was happening?
They were patrolling the campus.
Why did they see that fight? Where were they patrolling the campus? I mean, how far away from campus can they patrol, or do they patrol?
They patrol where incidents lead them, typically. So if they have information that there's going to be a fight, they'll be there. In this particular incident, there was no information that there was.
Maybe they should patrol back
incident
there.
That was going to occur
if that's the
in
case.
Apartments next to the school.
This is Joshua with Channel 8. I just have a question. Do any of these juveniles have previous records?
Did any of them have
I
previous
don't,
records?
I'm not aware of the
They don't know.
Related to the suspects.
And also, can you just, last week, there was also an incident in Hardyville where a body was found. Can you just provide any sort of reassurance for parents who have kids that go to CCSD about safety?
Metro also investigated that incident, so they can speak to that incident. But as far as our police force and of how the school district provides safety in schools, we do have 194 police officers that cover our 370 schools each and every school day. And obviously that's not enough. However, 40 of them are on patrol each and every day. And that's when school starts. Incidents that occur overnight, we do not have that force working for incidents that occur, particularly for a Harney incident like that.
What is CCSD police doing differently after the incident in Rancho?
Obviously, an incident like this is going to impact the school community, specifically Rancho, the students, obviously the staff, and parents, and just not parents of Rancho, but parents all over Clark County. I've received calls basically stating that it could have been their child. What we've done, obviously, we're partnering with our agencies like we always do, Metro, North Las Vegas, which is very close border-wise to Rancho. And we're providing extra coverage at Rancho and other sites. We're also providing additional service to that school.
After the fact.
And I
After the
can't
fact.
speak of that
There's been
right
fights
now.
going on in this alley. After the fact, they're now going to partner with the school.
Typically, incidents at school happen in the mornings, at
Takes a
lunchtime,
dead kid.
and after school. So those coverages increase for those hours of the school day.
And how is CCSD PD responding to the threats teachers, administration at Rancho High School have been receiving since this video went viral?
Again, I can't speak of that, but there are additional resources provided to that site to address those issues that are occurring.
Were the suspects apprehended at Rancho High School?
I can't speak of where the
There are suspects apprehended at numerous locations across the valley, so I don't have every last individual location where they are apprehended, but I'm not aware of one apprehended on school grounds right now. No.
You are not?
No, I'm not aware.
Thank you, everybody.
This is the second
Thank you.
video committing like how it's for life. What does it say about just
All right, that's their update. And again, this is the GoFundMe. I'm going to read through it. I'm sure many of you have seen the news in Vegas of our son who is in critical condition and on life support after what the news is describing as 15 people attacking him. We can't release any other information yet, except to say that we denounce violence as a means to receive sociological conflict. As a means to resolve sociological conflict, we believe community members can coexist peacefully, and we love our son and all children with all our hearts. Our son is a kind, loving, gentle man who has the heart of a champion and the brightest loving energy that attracts people to him with love. He's an aspiring artist, devoted big brother, and a fierce protector of loved ones. We are so grateful for all the love and community support that is poured in for our son, and hope that the world will focus on all the love and compassion as a beacon of hope for human relations, and place recognition upon how much stronger the love and spirit of community is than the dark moments of violence. Love wins. Our son is a champion of love and family and the resilient spirit of human perseverance and will to be good and kind and loving. We have given a statement from our son's girlfriend that what occurred was one of his smaller friends had something stolen by this group of 15, and they threw the small boy in the trash can, and our son confronted them and was attacked by them. He is a courageous young man. And then they have a website, Team Jonathan. They already have Team Jonathan started. It's so sad. Shadi, you're probably right, but it wouldn't be as convenient. It wouldn't be as convenient if they did it somewhere else, not close to the school. If they had to be inconvenienced, they're 13 to 17, so most of them don't drive. So if they have to be inconvenienced to find a place to fight, it's going to be more of a deterrence than anything. So if the cops already knew that fights were happening in this alleyway by this high school, why weren't they acting on it sooner? Why does it always take something so horrific and families to be ruined for something to happen? I mean, why don't they have a school resource officer that's patrolling the off-campus part of wherever this alley where these fights are happening? It makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. And they need to really examine the heads of these kids and their parents, because this shit starts at home. Because I can tell you right now, my kid would never have stolen a vape pen or earphones from someone. They just wouldn't have done it. And that shit starts at home. It's sick. It's sick. So anyways, those are the two main stories I wanted to cover with you guys this morning, because I think they're both extremely important and I think everybody needs to know about them. But I want to share with you guys what I'm going to be covering on Friday. And this is going to be extensive coverage. So brace yourselves. We're going to be going over the Oxford Community Schools shooting incident. And when I say the shooting incident, I'm talking about the latest happenings. So what's going on now? I'll tell you what's going on now. The Oxford Community Schools had independent investigation done. Why am I'm in the wrong account. Hold on a second, guys. I got to switch my account here. I don't know what's going on. It's weird. Okay, I'm on the wrong account, but I'm going to look it up. So I'm going to give you a little preview of what has been going on with Oxford. So we have, Ethan Crumbley's sentencing coming up December 8th. And last night, or rather, they scheduled an independent investigation. Okay. I know, Stacy. I'm all over the place. But listen, so Oxford Community Schools, Ethan Crumbley shot and unalived 4 children in that school, 4 students. He's being sentenced December 8th. His parents' trials have been separated. So now Jennifer Crumbley is going to be tried separate from her husband, James Crumbley. I don't know if there's new court dates or what, but now these victims have to go through 2 trials because they've been separated, because some new information has come in, apparently. So what the Oxford Community Schools did was they hired a private company to do a full investigation on the shooting. And what they uncovered during this investigation, which is called Guidepost Report, they found out that this entire situation could have been avoided. The whole thing. So guess what? Parents are pissed. Rightfully so. So they did 3 separate videos, 3 sessions with the guidepost report people, which you see right here in this. Let's go back to our regular screen. Let's go back to our regular scheduled programming. Okay. So the second video here where you see those people, that is the Guidepost Investigation Committee answering questions to the public. So after this report came out that says the school did not do what they were supposed to do, there's so many things, you guys. They didn't have an emergency operations plan. They were required by law to have. These parents are calling on their resignation, and they're calling on the government or the governor and the prosecutor, Karen McDonald, to prosecute these people. So here is, and then they had school board meeting after this report, and all these parents were able to ask their questions to the reporter people. And it gets pretty interesting, guys. So here is a clip from a year ago. This is them a year ago. They've been fighting this battle for 2 years. For 2 years. This is them a year ago. And we're going to go over this extensively Friday.
And Alicia, I actually had chills listening to what he had to say to the school board. It's actually alleged in a lawsuit that an armed security guard saw Tate Muir bleeding and walked past him because they thought it was a drill.
One by one, Oxford High School parents aired out their fury at the school board for what they considered to be a lack of transparency and action.
It's ridiculous. You guys don't care about the kids.
Those heavy words coming from Buck Muir, father of one of the slain Oxford students, Tate Muir.
We've got, 8.5 months later, not one answer on what went wrong that day, no investigation, no police report.
From the board. But several of the Oxford parents invested in a separate investigation and are now alleging in a lawsuit an armed security guard not only walked past a bloody Tate Muir, but could have prevented Justin Schilling from dying. Facts Muir believes the board should have been more transparent about. During the meeting, the school board expressed regret for not being able to provide all the answers and spoke about restoring trust in the community. But Muir left with this.
One last thing. Tom, got this check in the mail from you for about $800. And I don't want your money. There's blood on that.
We're still working to learn what that check was for, but...
Yeah, what that check was for. I wonder. I'm just wondering why I can't find... Did they take it down? Dude, if this is gone, I'm going to be so upset. Let me see here. I got to go to my other account because I don't see it. And it was just on last night. I watched all these videos last night. I'm going to be so pissed if they're gone. Hold up. Let me go to my history. I'm going to be so pissed if they put these on private because they were heated. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh no, here it is. Oh my God, November 14th. That was, I need to get with it, guys. That was yesterday. I'm like, oh, that's old. So this right here, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the shit that's going on there. This guy here, his son was shot, but he survived. So here is a little
Jared Watson, please.
A little bit of what we're going to be watching on Friday. There's a lot that goes along with this. Gerald Watson, his son was shot.
I think he's coming.
And survived. Now wait for Gerald. Gerald owns their asses. But this gives you some insight into what these parents have been through for 2 years. Here we go. They've had it. Especially after this report said they were all responsible.
We'll never spend another day.
Okay, here we go. Here's Gerald.
She can speak again if maybe she's in the bathroom or something like that. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Meg, that's awful.
Okay, Jared Watson, please.
Look at the dino. Hi, dino. Well, hello.
I think he's coming.
Oh, I think he's coming. Yeah, they don't like him coming. They don't want to hear what Gerald's got to say. I'll tell you that much.
Thank you for finally showing up. Every time we come to something, we pray, Lord, let that be the day that the community showed up. Because it's hard to stand here alone for 2 years against this. And shame on the rest of you that didn't. Buck said it best. What if this would have touched your household? It touched ours. My son was going to stand here. He was here. He was going to, so you could stare at one of the kids that you were responsible for the day that he got shot, because their kids can't. They're here now. You can't hide anymore. The report's out. We know what you knew. We all knew. Now they know. And now they're here. Why are you still here? Seriously, are you going to tell us, let's go Oxford, let's go vote for American Idol or whatever it was? That's right. That you never read the room. I came to your open community session before the report was out, and I tried, and we've listened. This impacts our life every day. We were in a meeting today. I won't get into the details, and I appreciate you're willing to meet with us, but it was related to this because our son still deals with this every day. The culture you have created has enabled people to think, you know what, they didn't do anything wrong, so maybe there's something wrong with those victims. My son isn't the only one that's been victimized post-shooting, and it still happens. I've talked to other people's parents and their families, and some of these people still have kids and family in the district. Do you know how traumatizing it is to see you? I wanted my son to stand here, but he couldn't because he can't. He tried. He came here. He tried, he left, he came back, he left again.
Sad.
Wolf was responsible that day. I didn't know all the details about Wolf. I liked Wolf. He was a good person to us, treated us right, my kids right. But he created a culture in a building that, don't bother me with that. Do you know when we spoke, go ahead, go over. Ejax recorded on a police body cam telling the police that day that we were afraid, Hopkins and I, to send him back to class because he might hurt himself or someone else. Paraphrase exactly. But he knew, you knew. Counselor number 1, you heard that one? Let's mock the whole damn thing at the opening weekend the following August. We hear everything you hear and know. We get phone calls. You do something, we hear about it. We have to hear about it because there are so many people in this community that know we have a voice. We've used it. We've talked to the media because the first time we really did it was because the prosecutor asked us to. Said that we're well spoken and they think it's important for us to get the story out there. We didn't want to do it. I'm going to keep going.
Go ahead. Yes. That's fine.
I am shaking.
So they used to have last year, they had 5 minutes to talk. Then they changed it and gave these people 3 minutes. And you're going to see on Friday that students get up here and talk, And at the end of 3 minutes, they're like, okay, you got to cut it off. They're cutting off students that saw their friends get shot, saying your 3 minutes is up. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Angry. I have sat in Congress and watched these people's families talk. I have seen our elected officials turn their backs on them. I have seen them make promises they haven't kept. You hired one of them. I didn't even know that. That's disgusting. Some of you that sit there, we elected you in. And shame on everyone that voted for Mary, by the way.
Mary?
I can't. I'm not going to be quiet anymore. I will fight you in federal court. I will fight you in state court. I will fight governmental immunity. I will fight you in the streets if I have to. I will fight you with campaigns. I will fight you with 42 Strong. I will fight you with gardens. I will fight you with memories of people who have to live with every day that their kids aren't here, or every day that their kids are scared, or every day that their kids are victimized, or every day that their kids are hurt or traumatized. Wolf made an announcement. Don't say anything. What if we add 2 kids reporting that they saw bullets in the classroom because they felt like, oh, we should report it. Oh, no, wait a minute. You told us not to report things anymore. You had a list with his name on it that had 20 students who were flagged by the test you gave him at the beginning of the year. You did nothing list. Oh, we couldn't identify who had the bird head. What if you would have made a list of 400 kids that all peed that day, and then you cross-reference that to the list of those kids who were having, I don't know, he's sad, and or he triggered on this list of 20. That might have narrowed it down to maybe 15 or 20 or so. Is it really that bad that you can't interview 15 kids? You didn't want to see it. You still don't want to see it. You had policies in place that never got used. You checked the box. Well, good for us. The superintendent you hired blamed Lamont. Lamont blamed him. It's not my responsibility. You gave him 3 months paid leave. Probably so. I don't know the numbers here, but maybe he got his year in as superintendent, so he got his full retirement. Now he's working in Bay City. I commend what he did for Kylie. I do. That's real. You can't hide from that. There are some heroes here. I've seen the video. Noose is running towards it. Christy Gibson Marshall is already there. I watched her testify. I watched these families watch their child die on video for the first time, and I will never forget that. The one that got Tate, the next one got my son. It just got him a little lower. I don't want to be here anymore, but I will fight you till the day I die. I will fight against this because no one else will. We needed you after the shooting. You weren't there. 7-0, 7-0, 7-0. It's not like you voted once the other way. You don't even have your own thoughts. You think, what are you doing here? Like, seriously, leave. I mean, your apology means nothing now. It means nothing. Have you read the report? Have you read the report? All these closed sessions where your buddy Mullins is in here and we're out here and you're making us wait and we're here till 10:30, 11, 12:30. Just waiting for our moment, and then you cut it from 5 minutes to 3 minutes, and you take your little notes, and whether it's Donnelly or Dan or you or whoever, I don't care anymore. Or if it's you, because I went to your hearing to see what your platform was. What have you done? What have you done? I know you're doing stuff. I've seen it. I know you're doing stuff. What are you two doing? That's 4-3. You're all new. You all ran on what you said you would do differently. What's different? And I'm not talking about now, because you can't have a now without a then, and without a then we can't heal, and we can't heal until the wound closes, and the wound can't close until you actually stand the hell up and say, well, shit, I screwed up. It happened on our watch. We're sorry. I'm going to resign. You never should have been here to begin with. Nothing needs to change. Are you kidding me? I know about your past and all the other crap you dealt with, but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about, it's 14 days, 16 days to the shooting. My son will stand up on December 8th and read a statement that he agonized over to make sure that the person who did that to him and stole these 4 children's lives will never spend another day free. And he still might get out because, hey, we're reintroducing term limits, or not term limits, get out for good behavior in our, but we'll fight that too, by the way. But the reports here, you have nowhere else to hide. There are no more closed sessions. We know. And we only know part of it because you again failed to step up and force someone like Hopkins to testify. I mean, seriously, why does he have a job?
So what happened was when they hired this private entity to do this investigation, the members of the school board, there was a bunch of them that wouldn't testify, that wouldn't even talk to the group. The group said in their sessions, we couldn't reach, certain people, so we had to go back and revert to their depositions and the police reports, and we had to talk to the officers about them because they lawyered up and wouldn't talk to the investigation committee that they hired. It's insanity. Like, I can't even believe this. 2 years later.
At least gave us the courtesy to quit, right? Okay, he's out. The person you replaced him with isn't doing a much better job, okay? I can show you an email he sent us back in regards to something we came to him. Shame on us for trying to trust again. But I'm done trusting. I don't have a choice. Well, why don't you take your kids somewhere else? Where am I going to take them where they still do things where he feels safe? Where all his friends are that actually went through what he went through. Where he can get the IEP that he needs, which is why we came to this district to begin with. Go to a Christian school. Christian schools are all in districts that have really poor secondary services. Okay? That's just the truth. You go to Oakland Christian, they're in Pontiac. That's not fair. Why should he have to go backwards so that you guys can have your way and continue to just hide all the truth and hide all the things that you've done? Why don't you leave? Why don't you give us our district back? Why don't you let us actually heal instead? I mean, seriously, do you not understand what you do to us? Do you really not understand? Are you really that ignorant? This is your day of reckoning. And you still stare at me with that same stupid smirk. As if like you don't give a crap. Are you even a human being? Because I cannot fathom it. You can roll your eyes and laugh and do whatever you want. Until you've walked a day in my shoes, you don't get to judge me. Yep, I'm losing it a little bit. It's been almost 2 years. Here I am.
Rolling their eyes at him?
These people, and I have stood with them, and I have cried with them, and I will continue to stand with them. My son was going to stand here because he can, and I can hug him, and I can hold him, and I can love him, and I will deal with every problem we have to deal with as a result of your bad decisions because he's still here. That moment ended for them. It's over. It was preventable. At least Wolf had a policy in place that checked for instrumentality. In his suicide case, where you guys claim you were worried about self-harm, he didn't follow that policy for instrumentality, right? He didn't ask the question. He still has a job. You put him with more at-risk children. I mean, really, do I have to sit here and say to you, what the hell are you thinking? Right? Do the right thing for once. How you've had so many opportunities to do the right thing. You have had so many.
2 years.
I appreciate what you're trying to do. I do. I mean it. I think you're sincere, and I believe you. You're leaving shortly. You have some sway here. Please use it. You have a 4-3 majority. Use it. Please. It's why I voted for you. Hopkins, fine. Wolf, and anybody else that we don't know about. Yeah, our security guard lunch lady.
Yikes.
I thought it was a drill. Yep. You can see the blood from the dead one when you open the door. And if he wasn't dead yet, that's even worse. And I'm pretty sure the report said he wasn't. I'm done.
That's just one person. That's just one of many. And we're going to go over this on Friday because it's very, very important. It's very important. And this is all happening right before the sentencing of Ethan Crumbley. But I don't know if this is going to help the Crumbley parents. What does this mean for the Crumbley parents being responsible in any way? They're charged with 4 counts of manslaughter. What does this mean for their case? Does this mean they're going to blame the school? Because now there's this independent report. I swear, if Jennifer Crumbley walks away from this, I am going to be so mad. Like, that's worse than Casey Anthony, in my opinion. I don't know, but we're going to be going through all of this and discussing it because it's very, very important. And I am going to try to reach out and see if that guy wants to come on the podcast because he has a lot of things he needs to get off his chest. Security guard lunch lady. Yeah, she thought it was a drill. Kid was bleeding out. They were shot at close range. You're going to hear from a mother who reads her victim impact statement in the school board meeting. Her daughter, Madison, was killed. She was shot in the temple at close point range. And guess what? She had to watch the video of her daughter getting shot because the school board wouldn't tell her the truth. So she watched her daughter get shot in the temple, and then she watched a bunch of school employees just walk past her. It's unbelievable. I hope so, Mandy. I really hope it doesn't affect the Crumbleys. You guys, you think they're effed. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. But you guys, that's what we're going to be covering on Friday. Tomorrow we have Timothy Ferriter's sentencing. The boy in the box. We've got an event up for that. Thank you for being here, Kendi. Jennifer and her dude got Ethan the gun. They did. They did. And it also came out in this report that the school thought that Ethan was suicidal and they still didn't follow the right protocol for a kid that's suicidal. They sent him back to class by himself without checking his backpack that had a loaded gun in it. It's the worst thing imaginable. It's the worst thing imaginable. And my niece went to Oxford High School. My niece graduated from Oxford High School. So I'm very shooketh over this information. Yeah. They do. Everyone needs to be held accountable. Just like everybody at that fight needs to be held accountable. They all need, every single kid that was at that fight in Vegas, I feel like they need to explain why they didn't do anything. And I feel like there needs to be repercussions for people that don't do anything. And there needs to be repercussions for the people on the Oxford School Board who lied to these parents, sugarcoated their deaths, and they had to watch their own children getting shot to death to get the truth. This is America. Can you believe it? In a small ass town, this little school board had that much power. Craziness. Christine, thank you for being our newest member. She said, I've enjoyed your streams from the shadows and I love being here with everyone, even if I am silent. Well, thank you so much. Oh, man. Well, Rhonda, thank you for being here and thanks, Flo, for those memberships. Your phone died September? Well, that's going to conclude our live for today. I'm going to roll our credits. We're going to dance it out. And then I'm going to go put together the latest Caitlin Armstrong update for y'all. Okay? So be looking for that this afternoon. And if anything else happens in this crazy world we're living in that warrants me going live, you know I'll be here. So make sure you're subscribed. Click that notification bell for all notifications, because around here we're pro-victim and we respect people. And I'm going to end on that note. I love you guys. I love everybody that comes into my lives. Thank you for liking on Facebook. Myron, thank you everyone who ran over to Facebook and gave a like. Trying to build it up over there. And Flo, I can't wait to hook up my monitor. I'll send you a picture in Discord. I'll be like, this is my official. I'm like looking like a true podcaster. Thanks to Mike Sanner, and thanks to Flo, and thanks to Janice Burns. They have bought me so much of my equipment. It's amazing. Tracy V, I love you too. Angie and all the mods. Olive, Kendi, thank you for being here. And we'll dance it out. Look at Summer Lou. She's lazy today. Second day of rain here in Florida. Cloudy, rainy, and humid as fuck. So thank you guys so much. I hate to say goodbye because I love talking to you guys, but sorry for the crying episode earlier. I'll have my shit together at the next live, I promise. I'll see you guys then. Let's run our beautiful credits.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Your problems, I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be, you wanna be, you wanna be.
Rattlesnakes, moccasins,
town, dude.
alligators.
Freak town, dude.
Stick it to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day.
If you say Ferris Bueller, you lose a testicle.
Give it the fallout. Give it the fallout. Give it the fallout.
Bye, Jennifer. Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Is it one Jennifer or two Jennifers?
I heard Eduardo with like a G.